Disclaimer. This video is created for educational and entertainment purposes. Some scenes are dramatized for storytelling. Over 2,300 years ago, a young warrior changed the destiny of India forever. Chandragupta Maurya stood on a hill overlooking Pataliputra as the sun painted the palace gold. He was the architect of the first empire to unite the Indian subcontinent. In the 4th century BCE, India was a fractured landscape of warring kingdoms and shifting borders. There was a land waiting for a vision, a leader who could weave these scattered threads into a single, unbreakable tapestry. Today, we look back at the man who saw unity where others saw only chaos, the founder of the Mauryan legacy. Chanakya, a scholar with sharp eyes and a sharper mind, found Chandragupta in a small village. He saw a spark in the boy that others missed. Chanakya pointed toward the Nanda dynasty's fortress and laid out a scroll of strategies that would rewrite history. The throne is not a gift, but a conquest, Chanakya whispered. Chandragupta spent months training in the dust, mastering the sword and the complex art of command. He learned that a king must be as cold as the steel he carries, and as wise as the scriptures he studies. Under the scorching sun, the foundation of an empire was laid in sweat and iron. In 322 BCE, he led his forces against the Nanda capital. The air was thick with the scent of blood and ambition. He broke through the city gates, dismantled the old regime, and claimed the throne with a roar that echoed across the plains. Kingdom after kingdom fell into line, forming a vast, unified territory. Chandragupta built a massive military machine. He organized infantry, cavalry, and a terrifying force of war elements that shook the very earth as they marched. No longer was India a collection of warring tribes. It was now a single body under a single crown, breathing with the rhythm of Maurya power. When the Greek ruler Seleucus I Nicator marched toward the Indus, Chandragupta met him on the battlefield. It was a clash of civilizations, the legacy of Alexander the Great meeting the rising sun of India. The dust kicked up by thousands of sandals and hooves clouded the sky. The clash was decisive. Recognizing the strength of the Mauryan army, Seleucus signed a peace treaty, handing over territories in present-day Afghanistan and Pakistan to the Mauryan crown. This was more than a military victory. It was a diplomatic masterstroke. The borders of India were pushed further than ever before, establishing a dominance that the Western world could no longer ignore. The Lion of India had shown its teeth. Pataliputra became the heartbeat of the empire. Roads stretched across the land like veins, linking distant trade routes. Merchants filled the markets with silk and spices, while scholars copied manuscripts in the grand libraries. Chanakya wrote the Arthashastra, a manual on governance that defined how to manage an empire with brutal efficiency and deep wisdom. Laws were enforced, taxes were collected with precision, and the economy flourished under a centralized system. It was a golden age where art, science, and trade thrived under the watchful eye of the emperor. The chaos of the past was a distant memory, replaced by the order of the Mauryan state. After years of ruling, Chandragupta made a sudden choice. He walked into the throne room, removed his royal robes, and handed his sword to his son. He donned the simple garments of a Jain ascetic. He traveled south to Shravanabelagola, leaving the golden palace behind for the silence of the hills. He sat among the monks, spending his final days in meditation. His life transformed from the roar of battle to the stillness of the spirit. Today, his legacy remains etched in the foundation of Indian history. Chandragupta Maurya remains a symbol of ambition and transformation. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories from Indian history.